Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of This Weekend. It's a brand new show where every week we talk about your favorite sports, and this week we're talking about college football. All right, as always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more episodes of This Weekend. And with that being said, we're going to start the show off with throwing the book out because last week nothing mattered. Statistics, nothing. Logic didn't matter. I went 9-9 last week. Horrible outing. There were plenty of upsets. LSU lost. Florida lost. Texas lost. All of them close games. All of them horrible losses for me. Oh, on the season, I am 49-28, which comes out to 63%. I'm failing. I'm sorry. I'll try and bring it back up. But with this week's episode, we're going to start a new segment where I am spoon-fed the punishments that my lovely assistant has prepared for me. I'm going to get 9 spoons of horrible, disgusting things. I don't know what they are yet. I'll find out, and I'll put the game that I'm getting punished for right there. But other than that, I'm going to try my very best not to acknowledge it and keep the show going. All right, with all the introductions out of the way, let's jump right into last week's insane moment. Last week's insane moment comes from the Pittsburgh and Boston College game. I picked Pittsburgh, and another kicker ruined my percentage. Alex Kessman missed the extra point attempt in overtime to tie the game up, and I just can't believe it. Oh, gosh. Okay, first one. He missed the extra point attempt in overtime. They lose 31-30. Ironically enough, he made a 58-yard field goal with 40 seconds left in the game to tie the game. You can do that, Alex. You can make a 58-yard field goal to tie the game with 40 seconds left. But to tie the game in overtime, you can't make an extra point attempt. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. You are dropping my percentage, and I can't stand it. Okay, that does it for last week's insane moment. All right, we have some headlines this week. COVID-19. Sadly, I'm going to have to talk about it because it's the biggest thing in football right now. It is ruining college football. 4 games this week were postponed due to COVID-19 outbreaks in each team. Three of those games involved a top 10 team. Cincinnati, Tulsa got postponed. Cincinnati and Tulsa got postponed. LSU, Florida also postponed. Oklahoma State and Baylor postponed. Vanderbilt, Missouri postponed. All of those games postponed. All of those games postponed. Nick Saban has been diagnosed with coronavirus. Poor guy. Diagnosis comes days before Alabama plays Georgia. It's the biggest game of their season. I don't know what effect this is going to have on the game, but all I know is Nick Saban's going to be missed on the sideline. His presence is a very big presence on the field. I think Alabama's offense is going to be fine, but that's a big loss for the Crimson Tide and might have a factor in the game. Okay, that does it for the headlines. Let's go into the games. Starting off, we have number 1 Clemson taking on Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Clemson and Trevor Lawrence, I believe, are too strong. Trevor and Travis are number 1 and 2 in the Heisman rankings coming into this week. I think they're going to continue to have a Heisman game. Okay. They're going to do really great. Georgia Tech, and oh my God. Georgia Tech offense is starting to come alive. They had 46 points against Louisville. That's pretty good. I beat Louisville. And Jeff Sims had 3 touchdowns in that game, 2 passing and 1 rushing. But I think Clemson takes care of business, and their defense does really well against Georgia Tech. I I think Clemson wins. So give me the Tigers. Oh my gosh. Next game, we have Pittsburgh taking on Miami, who just came off the tough loss to Clemson. Derek King had his worst game of the season. He had threw 2 interceptions, only had 1 rushing touchdown. You can't do that again, Derek King. You got to play better against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, they're coming off a heartbreaking loss, like I've said, thanks to their kicker, Alex Kessman. I think that Miami's offense is way too strong. I think the Pittsburgh defense is good, but not good enough to stop Derek King. I think he has a bounce-back game, and I think the Hurricanes come out with a win. Go Hurricanes. Sorry, excuse me. Next game, we have the Auburn Tigers taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks. The South Carolina Gamecocks, they have a scary rushing attack. Oh, they have a scary They have a scary rushing attack. The heck is this? They have a scary rushing attack. Kevin Harris, he is a problem. He has 21 carries for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns in their blowout win against Vanderbilt. He is 5'10" and 225 pounds. He is built like a bowling ball. And guess what? The Auburn defense is about to be the bowling pins. Kevin Harris has a big game, but Auburn's rush defense has given up 155 rushing yards a game. That's not particularly great. And Auburn only beat Arkansas 30-28. Bo Nix struggled. He only had 187 passing yards. And Tank Bigsby was impressive. He had 146 yards on the ground and it averaged around 7 yards a carry. I think this is a close game, but I have to go with the talent over the really good running back. I'm going to take Auburn in a close one. This could go either way, though. This might be another game that might be on last week's insane moment if South Carolina can pull it off, which I think that they can. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Next game, we have Liberty taking on Syracuse. Liberty, they're undefeated. They haven't played anybody, but they are still undefeated, which is no small feat. Syracuse, on the other hand, is 1-3. They've played slightly better competition, but they're still 1-3 and have not shown any promising signs of being any good. I think this game will be close. It's tough to tell because statistically speaking, Liberty is way better than Syracuse. Liberty has 442 yards per game compared to Syracuse's 254 yards per game. And they only allow 260 yards, and Syracuse allows 475. Liberty puts up 33 points, as Syracuse only puts up 19. Liberty allows only 18 points, and Syracuse allows 27. Again, I'm going with my gut because statistics have lied to me last week. I have 9 losses to prove that. So I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say the ACC school beats the non-Power 5 school Liberty. I think Syracuse comes out on top, and Liberty is no longer undefeated. Give me the orange. Next game, we have Kansas taking on West Virginia. I know I said this about last week with Missouri and LSU, but come on, it's Kansas. They're 0-3. Kansas is not good. Kansas is not good. That's all I really have to say. They've been blown out the past 2 games, 14.7 points per game compared to... Sorry. Kansas has been blown out the past 2 games. They've only had 14 points per game while giving up 44. West Virginia has played well. Nothing spectacular, but they have played well. 32 points per game and have only allowed 19. And they just had their double overtime win against Baylor. I'm going to go with talent away from horribleness. I think West Virginia wins. I think Kansas continues to be winless. I don't even think it's close. What was that? That last one. Oh my gosh. Oh, Louisville taking on number 4 team in the nation, Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. Notre Dame defense, they are only allowing 13 points per game. Wow, that's insane. Notre Dame offense, 270 rushing yards per game. Wow, that's insane. Kyron Williams, he has almost 7.5 yards a carry. Wow, that's insane. Louisville is not having a good season. Malik Cunningham is inconsistent to say the least. Against Miami, he had a great game. 307 yards, 72 completion percentage, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. And then against Pitt and Georgia Tech, he had 107 yards and 229, 42% and 57%. Had 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in those 2 games. Obviously, I'm going to go with Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I think, is too strong. Louisville is not. So, yeah, give me the Fighting Irish. Oh my gosh. How many more spoons do I have? Oh my gosh. Okay, next game. We have Duke taking on NC State. Duke finally got their first win. Chase Bryce has not been solid this year. He's been okay, but when your touchdown to interception ratio is more on the interception side, you're not having a good season, Chase Bryce. I'm sorry to say it, but with 5 touchdowns and 8 interceptions on the season, not good. If Duke can limit the turnovers, I think that they'll win. But I think NC State and Devin Leary is too strong. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception for him. I'm going to take a team that doesn't lose the turnover battle over a team that gives up the ball more than they take. So I'm going to take the Wolfpack over the Dukies. I'm sorry, Blue Devils. I'm sorry, Chase Bryce, but I've got to go with the Wolfpack on this one. I need to start getting my percentage up. Got to pick with my mind and not my heart. All right. Next game, we have number 11, Texas A&M taking off a reeling Mississippi State team who has not been good since their win over LSU. KJ Costello has not been good. They only got 2 points in the Kentucky's win over them. KJ Costello over the past 2 games has thrown 7 interceptions. What happened? KJ Costello, he was a possible sleeper pick for the Heisman after that first game against LSU. He's just fallen off. What are you doing, Mike Leach? Come on. Texas A&M, they've improved since their close game against Vanderbilt. Kellen Mond has 3 touchdowns in the past 2 games. Oh my gosh. Is this butter? He has a good game again. Give me Texas A&M. I freaking threw it back up. I think he has a good game. Texas A&M wins. All things you freaking think of butter. Virginia taking on Wake Forest. Both teams are 1-2. Wake just beat Campbell 66-14. That's pretty good. That's a good game. They put up 42 in the loss against NC State. Their offense is no question about it. Very good. This will be a high-scoring game. Wake Forest defense forced 4 turnovers against Campbell. And Virginia is good. Virginia is good. That's all I wrote. I don't know why I only wrote Virginia is good. I thought I wrote more than that. It's going to be a close game and a shootout. But give me Wake Forest. I think that they'll get it done, force a couple of turnovers, and the Demon Deacons win and improve to 2-2 on the season. I've got a burp coming. Oh, gosh. Give me a second. North Carolina taking on Florida State. I'm going to throw up. Oh, my gosh. North Carolina taking on Florida State. Florida State's bad. North Carolina's good. Sam Howell has had 3 passing touchdowns in his last game. What else needs to be said? Florida State, has not been relevant in a few years, and they're not relevant in this game. North Carolina wins in a blowout. Next game, Georgia, Alabama, game day, number 3 and number 2. Possibly a pregame before the SEC championship. This is a game of strength against strength and weakness against weakness. Georgia's defense is their strength. It is a scary strength. They allow 12 points per game, 236 yards per game, 38 rushing yards per game, which is ridiculous. And their third down conversion is only 28%. Wow. That is ridiculous. I just did one. Oh my God. I thought it was just straight garlic. It was straight garlic. Alabama. Their offense is high-powered. Oh my goodness. 51 points per game. 580 yards per game. 175 rushing and 385 passing. Who's going to win? Who's going to win that matchup? Usually, defense is the one that comes out on top, but this one's going to be tough. That's a high-powered offense you're going against. And then on the other side of the ball, we have weakness against weakness. Georgia's offense has been mediocre. 36 points per game and 420 yards per game. They're hitting their stride with Stetson Bennett, but, I mean, it's just mediocre. Alabama's defense has been embarrassing. It's been embarrassing, Nick Saban. This is an SEC defense. What are you doing? 30 points per game, 470 yards per game? Oh my goodness. You couldn't stop the lane train once? What are you doing? I'm going to take Georgia's strength over Alabama's strength. I think Georgia gets the win. Give me the Bulldogs. Oh, goodness. All right. Thank goodness it's the last game. We have Boston College taking on number 23, Virginia Tech. Boston College has been really good passing the ball, but they're only getting 60 yards on the ground. Phil Yurkovich, he is absolutely murdering people. He has 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, over 1,100 yards passing. He has 5 touchdowns over the past 2 games. That is ridiculous. I'd never think I would be talking about Boston College and a quarterback that's doing great. The last one that I can think of is Matt Ryan, but that was, as we know, that was a long time ago. And Virginia Tech, as a team, is averaging 6.5 yards per rush. Wow. I think Khalil Herbert is their leading rusher. I think he has a great game, and I think that they control the clock and keep it out of Phil Yurkovich's hands, and they get the win. Give me the Hokies. That does it for the games. Since my predictions changed in my playoffs, I'm going to update those. So, I'm going to give my top 6. I really feel like I'm going to throw up. Is that freaking Robitussin? That's cold medicine. Oh, okay. Number 1, Clemson. We got to change at number 2. Give me Georgia. Give me the Bulldogs at number 2. I think they're having a heck of a season defensively. So I'm going to, like I said, I predict they're going to beat Alabama. So why not put them at number 2? They're going to leapfrog Ohio State. Give me the Bulldogs at number 3. We have Ohio State. Ohio State still has not played, so I'm putting them there out of respect. But I think their team is too strong to keep them out of it, even when they're not playing. At number 4, give me the Crimson Tide. I think at the end of the year, 2 SEC teams have the best chance of getting in, and it's going to be whoever plays in the SEC championship, whoever wins it, and whichever team does not get in the SEC championship. So, give me the Crimson Tide. The next 2 teams that are out at number 5, give me Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I think, is a good team. I don't think they're going to be good enough. I think they might go undefeated in the ACC, except against Clemson. I think they lose to Clemson twice. So that would keep them out of the college football playoff. Sadly, they will be the first team out. And at number 6, give me the Cincinnati Bearcats. Now, do I think the Cincinnati would deserve to be number 6? No. But I think every other team is going to be beaten up by their conference schedules. I think ACC, I think North Carolina is going to get beaten up in their schedule. I think Miami is going to lose at least one other game. I think Cincinnati has a chance to run the table. And I think that Florida loses maybe one more game. I think Tennessee loses a couple games. And I think Big 12 teams keep beating themselves up too. So give me the Bearcats. I think they have the best shot to go undefeated and be that 6th team. I don't think there's any other team that could have that chance. All right, that does it for this week's episode. I'm hoping that I'm done with spoons because I'm just going to hurry up and end the show so they can't give me the spoon. As always, if you are enjoying the episode, if you want to see more this weekend, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It'll help more people see the video. But I will see you next week in college football. What the hell was that?